alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It is with great pleasure and profound sense of responsibility that I welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the Education Recovery Conference held today in the ancient city of Kano. The conference, as I was meant to believe, was organized jointly by Plan, Nigeria, Arewa Consultative Forum, and of course the Kano State government, which also marks a historic moment in our struggle towards revitalizing and repositioning education sector in our beloved state. It is gratifying to inform this August gathering that just a while ago, the present administration in the state, under my leadership, declared a state of emergency of the education sector in the state, recognizing the urgent and profound need for a comprehensive and aggressive reform as well as strategic intervention to support the sector. Let me say that this conference, which is a gathering of experts, education, technocrats, policy makers, and other critical holders in the education sector, is quite timely. I believe in every effort that is geared towards critically appraising and repositioning the education system and leading the path to the educational excellence in our dear state. As we are made to believe also, the theme of this conference, which is repositioning education in Kano State, navigating the paths to excellence, encapsulates our shared vision and commitment to transforming our educational system in the state. Education is not merely a pathway to individual success, but it's a collective societal progress and economic development as well as prosperity. It is our duty as a custodian of public trust to ensure that every child in Kano receives a quality education that will prepare them for the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. Throughout this conference, we will engage in rigorous discussions, exchanges of innovative ideas and initiative partnership that will subsequently shape the future of education in the state as well as beyond that. Our goal here is to identify actionable strategies and policies that will enable us to overcome the existing challenges and build a synergistic, inclusive and responsive education system in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stated during the declaration of state of emergency on education sector, our vision is critical. It is crystal clear, and we are deeply committed to the attainment of the objectives of the declaration. At the end of the emergency period, we intend to achieve the following, as was enumerated by the former Minister of Education. That is, every school a good school, every child enrolled in school, every student engaged faithful teacher, a caring educator, a parent, a dedicated partner, a community, a committed supporter, and your government, a committed investor in capital development. Kano State education system has experienced serious dilapidation with decaying infrastructures in school and a very low learning outcomes and performance. Our government made schools and indeed the entire education system in a state of utter and unacceptable neglect. We inherited a collapsed system, deliberately destroyed and vandalized, schools without archives, no infrastructure materials yet. We were running a free and compulsory education with a bill that had been passed as a law as at that time. We must therefore navigate as a government to provide all essential materials needed to invigorate the system, hence the declaration of state of emergency and the convocation of this education recovery conference. Let me say that in the last 12 months since our coming into office, and because of our sincere commitment to turning around the importance of education in our state, we have made some strategic and implemented some deliberate policies to reawaken and reinvigorate the education system. Some of these actions include allocating unprecedented 29.95% of our 2024 budget to education. This, of course, is the highest in the country and highest even in the history of all the past governments in Kano State. We have equally invested over 2 billion naira to acquire and distribute instructional materials to basic and post-basic schools across the state. We have approved the release of over 2.7 billion naira for the construction of the first phase of 176 classrooms and 88 offices across the 44 local government areas. We have also approved and released 1.9 billion for the renovation and upgrade of 220 schools by the Community Reorientation Committee. We have also completed the construction of 336 new classrooms. I had wanted the Commissioner of Education during the due presentation to have shown to you some of the completed primary schools, but due to time, he couldn't do so. Let me equally seize this opportunity to most humbly thank the former Minister of Education for her eloquent and very rich speech. During her speech, what captured my mind was the issue of implementation. She was very, very critical of that. She advised us to ensure full implementation of all the policies geared towards revamping the educational sector. And let me say, Honorable Minister, as if you read my mind, as if you know, I was even wondering whether one of my staff linked this to the Honorable Minister. Specifically when she mentioned the timeline, that at least they're addressing it for quarterly briefing also, when she mentioned timeline of 3 months and specifically said like between now and October, Honorable Minister, let me assure you that we are fully ready. We made sure that before we declared the state of emergency, we prepared ourselves fully for the implementation of all the policies we intend to do. Let me equally say that the Honorable Minister again raised issue on the girls. She made mention about the implementation, of course, and then she also spoke about the provision of textbooks as well as school uniforms. Of course, with the large number of our students, Kano State government alone cannot take full responsibility of giving uniforms and textbooks free to all. But what we intend to do is to do it in stagnation. For this time, we intend to give to the new enrollees, primary 1 and primary 2 students. We intend to provide uniforms for all across the state. And then next year, we also increase it to primary 3, primary 2, primary 1. For textbooks, we are working assiduously in collaboration with many of the development partners, in collaboration with the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Education to see what they can do to assist the Kano State government. But even with that, what we intend to do is to make sure that we make these textbooks and other instructional materials available as much as we can. So we thank you for that, Honorable Minister. Now, in continuation of highlighting the achievements we have so far recorded, let me say that from May 29th to date, we have equally settled over 2.5 billion for the feeding of students in our boarding schools. We have also commenced the renovation of deboarded girls' schools with a view to reopening and reboarding them across the state. We also invested over 1.3 billion naira in 2023 to register Kano State students to write NECO and NBAIS across the state. Ladies and gentlemen, we intervened and supported Kano State students studying in federal tertiary education institutions in Kano and other states by offsetting the registration liabilities amounting to about 1.2 billion naira. We equally invested 2.9 billion to pay for this year's NECO examination registration fees. We recruited over 10,000 better teachers for cohorts 3 and 4. We equally recruited and employed new 5,623 better teachers across the 44 local government areas. We have introduced the Girl Child School Bus Initiative, which you just saw through the screen. We have sponsored the first batch of 1,001 first-class graduates to study for their higher degrees in foreign universities, to which we expect, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they will all come back to this country, back to Kano, back to their parents and the people by the end of the year, inshallah. We are equally two boarding schools closed by the previous administration. Let me say that we intend to provide chairs and desks to every school, chairs and desks to every school, as well as equip them with quality and qualified teachers by the grace of Allah. We intend to ensure that every pupil will have a chair and desk in all classes and all schools before the end of our administration, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have recently recruited their teachers. I said that. Let me seize this opportunity once more to urge all participants at this conference to actively participate in the deliberations to share your expertise and the insights freely, and to challenge conventional thinking where necessary. Let us collectively benefit from the wisdom and determination present in this room so that we can chart a course that ensures no child in Kano State is left behind. Let me see this opportunity to also emphasize that education for all is the responsibility of all of us. We therefore need to build on the already existing political will of the present administration and midwife a collective community will so that the entire stakeholders, patron, students, teachers, parents, communities, investors, partners, and government will roll up their sleeves and cooperate together to make the radical changes needed to make our education system strong, accessible, and qualitative. Together, we can do it by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me say at this juncture that on our part, we believe it is doable and achievable task. There is no investment on our children and youth that is better than investing in their education and in their future. Their future, I must therefore reiterate, is our collective responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, as I declare this conference open, let all of us remain steadfast in our commitment to excellence, to equity, and access to quality education. Let us seize this opportunity to make a lasting impact in the lives of our children, our communities, our state, and of course, our nation in general. Finally, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in the overall interest of our state and the country in general, I declare this conference open for the benefit of our people and our children. Thank you most heartily for your attention. God bless Kano State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Shall we please give His Excellency a standing ovation? Please let's appreciate His Excellency for this speech. Let's give His Excellency a standing ovation. Please put your hands together for this well-presented speech, encapsulated in his words of action, commitment, with all this zeal and responsibility. Your Excellency, distinguished delegates of this conference, it's about time for us to break out from the morning session to go for lunch and prayers. In a short while, we'll be right back here